Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to RemyFIT Radio, where you can learn my philosophies on health, performance, and lifestyle optimization that I have learned from the years of experience as a health and performance coach. I'm your host, Brandon Remy, and let's get into it. All right, everyone. Today we are talking about how the process really is the goal. And what I mean by that is, I have a lot of weight loss clients, or I have had weight loss clients in the past, and a lot of them generally are very overweight, right? Trying to lose, upwards of 50, 60 pounds sometimes, or even more. And the problem with that is that they can't see the end goal, right? They're so far away. The starting line is so far away from the finish line that they can't even fathom them being there, right? They can't even picture themselves being 60 pounds lighter than they are. So it's like, how do you stay positive when you're not even sure if you can make the finish line? A couple ways to do that, for me personally, right, is you break those big goals down, right? Say, you're trying to lose 60 pounds, right? You're going to take that 60 pounds and break it down to little wins. So maybe this month you lose 5 pounds and next month you lose another 5, right? And, a couple months down the line, next thing you know, you lost 30 pounds and you're halfway to your goal, right? But if you just think about losing that 60 pounds and then, you lose a pound or 2 pounds and you're like, oh, that was good, but I still have fucking 58 pounds to go. So like I said, break things down into little tiny wins. So when I think about the process is the goal, right, and breaking things down to little wins, I immediately think of jiu-jitsu, right? Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the ultimate goal, right, is to get your black belt. I really don't know too many people who are, just doing it for fun. I mean, it's kind of a side effect that it's fun, but it's really the goal is to get your black belt. If you're not trying to be the best, then, why are you even there? But once again, starting off as a white belt and then seeing other black belts or rolling with other black belts, you're like, no way I could ever get there, or not in a reasonable amount of time. Right? They say on average, it's about 10 years to get your black belt if you're training a lot. So just like I was saying before, is we need to break these things down into littler goals, right? Little wins. And jiu-jitsu is a great example because, like we said, the ultimate goal is the black belt, right? But as a white belt, you're not going to just get there, right? So what does jiu-jitsu do, right? They give you belts in between that, right? It's white, blue, purple, brown, and then black. And then to even further break it down, they give stripes on the belts, right? So, you can be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 stripe, say white belt or blue belt or whatever, but it's like little tiny levels. So yeah, me and whatever, someone else might be a blue belt, but, I'm a 2-stripe blue belt and they don't have any stripes. There's levels to it, So even though we're both blue belts, we're still trying to rack up those little wins, those little stripes to get us that much closer to our purple belt, right? And once we get our purple belt, we're that much closer to getting our black belt. So as you can see, it's just these little tiny wins that add up over time to create a big, big success, right? Now, same thing with weight loss, right? We want to lose that first 5 pounds, right? Then 5 pounds turns into 10, 10 turns into 20, and then, a couple months down the road, or you're at your goal of 60 pounds, right? But it's the little wins that will get you there, right? Just like to get there, you have to do the little things, right? It's the little things that add up to the big outcome, right? So if you are trying to lose weight, you're not just going to change your diet and, start working out 7 days a week and, hire a personal trainer, hire a nutritionist, get a mindset coach. Like, I mean, some people might do that, but it's like way too over the top. Just try and be mindful of, am I moving around? Like, do I live an active lifestyle, right? Am I eating healthy? Do I have a positive outlook on life? Do I have a positive outlook on this weight loss journey that I'm about to go on? All those little things will add up to a big 60-pound success, right? So, keeping with that same theme, it's the little things, right? The little tiny incremental steps that you take to get to that big explosion, right? That big celebration, if you will, right? If you lose 60 pounds, like, that's a great fucking job, right? You get your black belt and that's a great fucking job. But it's all the little tiny wins before that stacked up for you to get there, right? Nobody just comes in as a white belt and then next day is a black belt, right? Nobody comes in the gym 60 pounds overweight and a week later they're at their goal. It's all these little tiny steps in between. And just like I was saying, like, to get there, it's the process, right? The process is the goal. The goal is not actually the goal, right? That's in your head, it's the goal, but we should be falling in love with the process, right? The everyday grind. For me, I love going to jiu-jitsu practice. It's not, I mean, yeah, in the back of my mind, it's like, I'm going to get my black belt one day, but it's me learning a new choke, a new sweep, a new grip with the gi, and using that to, say, beat someone who's a purple belt, right? I'm only a blue belt, but I say I tap out a purple belt, right? I'm that much closer to getting my black belt, to getting to my ultimate goal. But I still have to climb the ladder, right? I still have to put the work in, and I have to fall in love with the grind, right? Because if you're not in love with that grind, then it's going to be a rough road ahead of you, right? And this goes for jiu-jitsu, this goes for weight loss, goes for muscle building, anything, business. Like, you have to fall in love with the grind every single day, just in hopes of getting closer to your goal. You can grind every single day and go backwards, like, it's just, but it's that grind. It's the practice. It's, it's going through the motions. And I'm not talking about just like show up to practice and go through the motions, but it's, drilling, and it's all those little tiny habits that create a big outcome, right? So once again, you have to fall in love with the process. Don't fall in love with the goal, fall in love with the process, because it'll make getting to that goal much more pleasant, right? If you completely change your diet, like I was saying before, completely change your diet, start a new workout regimen, it's going to be a lot. It's a big change right off the bat, specifically for my clients. Like, if we're talking about nutrition, and they come to me and, basically I do kind of the same thing with everyone. Not to say that I do the same thing with everyone, but like, I go about it the same way, right? They tell me what they're eating. I usually have them fill out like a week of like a food log, anything that they put in their mouth, right? It's the only time, like when somebody like is hiding things, the only person you're hurting is yourself, right? So I'm here to help. I don't care if you're eating Snickers every day, right? But just make sure you put it down. So everyone kind of starts out the same way, right? They give me that 1 week of food log, and then we go back in and we don't take anything out. I think that's a big, I think it's like an important step, is to not be, as a coach, to not be that quote unquote asshole right off the bat, right? So you come to me, you're trying to lose weight, and I'm like, oh, well, dude, this is why, you're eating this, this, and this. Like, you should be eating this, this, and that instead. Immediately I put myself in kind of a shitty situation, right? Because I'm telling you what you've done wrong and what you don't want to do. But rather than that, I give my clients what to do. So, say they're eating kind of fast food and stuff like that, right? Now, I'm not going to say take out that fast food. I'm going to tell you, go have, eat whatever, eat a salad or eat, a steak, some potatoes, whatever it is. Like, every person is different. So I can't really put a diet for the general. So whatever, I'm gonna actually add healthy food to their unhealthy diet, right? And my thought process behind that is that we're gonna eventually get rid of that bad food, right? We're trying to fall in love with the process, right? So I don't want to immediately hate the process. So as soon as if I start taking away your favorite foods, right? A lot of people like carbs or fats or whatever, if you're like, oh, I love bread and I love pasta, but that's what's, quote unquote, making me fat. I'm not going to be the bad guy and say, all right, well, you know what? Now we can't have pasta. We can't have bread, right? So rather what I do is I add in good foods, right? Have a salad, have some steak, have seafood. And then eventually when you start filling yourself up with those good, nutritious, whole foods, you're not going to want the bad food because you're going to realize how good it feels to feel good, right? And then when you put that shitty food in you, you're going to know exactly what it feels like to feel bad. And at that point, it's just up to you to choose. Like, do I want to feel good and enjoy the process, or do I want to feel bad and just struggle to get to my end goal? Right? Because a lot of people do that. They struggle and struggle and struggle. And sometimes they reach their goal, but a lot of times they don't. And it's the people who can figure out a way to enjoy getting to their goal that not only do they most of the time get there, they get there way faster than the people who try and suffer through it. Right? Life is meant to be enjoyed. So enjoy it. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. Don't put yourself through struggle. Some struggle is good and some struggle is very necessary, but don't put yourself through unwanted struggle and struggle that's just not necessary, right? That we don't have to put ourselves through. We want to fall in love with what we are doing. So that way it makes getting to the goal not only easier, but just all around more fun. I used to have a boss when I worked at the pizza place, and it's funny, he used to tell me this all the time, and I didn't really, I understood what it meant, but I didn't really understand what it meant until, not now as in today, but until, later on in life when I could pick apart what he meant and decipher in my own head. And he used to tell me all the time, pennies make dimes and dimes make dollars, right? And you're like, yeah, of course, pennies add up to dimes, a bunch of dimes make a dollar. But now when I think about that, right, it's these little tiny pennies, right? 1 cent eventually makes up 10 cents, right? And a bunch of dimes, or 10 of them, eventually make up $1. And when you save enough dollars, you can then go ahead and buy something, right? You can't really buy anything with a penny. You can't really buy anything with a dime. But if you have a shitload of pennies and a shitload of dimes, then you could eventually buy something. And it's the same thing as whatever, jiu-jitsu or weight loss or muscle building, right? It's those little tiny wins, the little tiny pennies that add up to, a belt here and there, right? Those stripes add up to belts. Those belts eventually lead you to that black belt, right? a couple pounds here and there, a couple ounces here and there of losing weight eventually gets you to 10 pounds of weight loss, right? That 10 pounds eventually grows to 60, and there you go. You're at your goal, right? So remember that. Pennies make dimes, dimes make dollars. The process is the goal. Get out there, fall in love with what you're doing, and crush your fucking goals. Peace. And that does it for another episode of RemyFIT Radio. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed listening, and if you think I can add any value to someone else, please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to learn more or you are interested in my online lifestyle optimization course, head over to my website, www.remyfithp.com, and follow me on Instagram at @BRemyFit.